Hello everyone, welcome to the Code. And this is very crucial part for all the deployment related activity. And why? Because if you are going to deploy your application into the, let's say in your internal server or some production server or some cloud, you need to know that all those deployment somehow using the Docker container. And these Docker container, these images are deployed through some process into those servers. And if you want to understand those all the things, first of all, we need to understand like how we are going to create this Docker Compose file. If you are new to this Docker Compose, that's all right because I'm going to explain the things in a way so that you can understand. And if you know about Docker Compose, then this particular lecture will be very easy for you and it will give you a guide how to create the Docker Compose file for your project. To do that, currently, in this part, I have created few stages, and these stages will go in a way like, first of all, we are going to deploy our application into the Linux. So we created this application, let's say, into our Windows machine, or might be Mac or some other OS, whatever you are using. So we need to understand like we need to deploy this project into the Linux server because all the servers in which the application is deployed are the Linux based. So we are going to deploy this application on Linux server or on a Linux platform and we will make it run. We will make it run in a way like it is running in our Windows machine. Okay. So first of all, we are going to make it run so that we can understand, okay, what are the components are required for the Linux platform. Second, when we are going to run this on Linux, we are going to use the Docker containers. So by using this Docker containers, we can understand like what images or what Docker containers we need to deploy our application. After collecting these all details, we are going to create the Docker Compose file. While creating the Docker Compose file, we need to do some changes in our code. And these code changes are required because the Docker Compose provides some functionalities to us to ease our work. And to ease our work, there will be some changes which we need to do in our code because we are going to remove the hard coded dependencies. So it is a very good part. You will like it. So we are going to create a list of all the things in the second part, and then we are going to fill the data into that list of services so that they all can work with each other. After creating this Docker Compose, the last thing which will be remaining will be the execute and test. So after creating the Docker Compose, we are going to deploy it and we will test it whether it is working fine or not. So this part mainly will provide you all the requirement for the dev setup. Why not prod? Because for the prod, we are going to use the Docker Swarm. In the prod server, uh, it is mandatory, not we can say mandatory, or it's a rule, a standard rule that user should not log in and do all the things. We should automate the things for the prod server so that the prod will be intact from all the outer uh, noise or outer attacks. So here is the complete list which we are going to cover in this part. So first of all, for the deploy application in Linux, here I have this project which we have already created into the earlier parts, this fast API e-commerce. We are going to deploy this application on Linux platform. So this particular project contains multiple parts, like it have the background jobs also. These background jobs are using the Redis server, Celery Worker, and also we are using the Postgres database. So we need Postgres database, we need Celery server, we need Redis queue as a server, and also we are going to run our application in container too. So we need all these things. So first of all, let's try to run it and then we will compile it. Okay. So this is a project. And if you're new and if you want to just understand that how these all things work for the Docker Compose, that's fine because I will give you a very easy way. Okay. So here I have this. Docker URL, and what I will do, I will go to my PowerShell. So in Windows, you have this WSL, Windows System for Linux. You can enable it, and after enabling it, you will have this option to install the Ubuntu versions into your Windows system. And after installing it, you just need to type WSL, and it will start the Linux platform for you to work. Okay, so I have just typed it, and it created the it initiated the Linux platform. Okay, so what I have is I just created this fast API directory inside my mount location. And after it, I have just one folder here that is env. So this so this env is the virtual env. And what I will do, I will do the git clone this repository, and it will clone here. It is an open repository. You can clone it, you can play with it, you can do anything. And if you want to get the reference, like what things are happening here, you can just go to the previous videos and you will find all the things which are present inside the code. The all the things which which we did into those videos are uploaded till now in this repository. Okay, so here I have, and what I will do, I will just go inside the fast API e-commerce. Okay, it should have the main branch. Okay, git branch. Okay, it is main. Let's do the git checkout dev. Why dev? Because if I go here, it is in the dev branch. Okay, so git checkout dev, all the things are present inside the dev. Let's do the ls, and yes, we have all the things. Okay, so before going into this Docker container, I just want to I just want to give you some heads up for the Docker Compose, because let's assume this Docker Compose as your Windows software CD. And this Windows software CD, when you install in your machine, it provide you one Excel app, it provide you one Notepad app, it provide you one PowerPoint app. So these all are the different apps which are present inside the Windows operating system. So what this Docker Compose will do, it will take the services. It will take all these things as a services. Let's say you have this DB, you have this Celery Worker, you have this Redis. These all are independent, and they all will be combined by the Docker Compose. And when you run the Docker Compose file, it will just behave like that software CD. So when you run that software CD, you will get all these application. When you run this Docker Compose, you will get all these services. Okay, so it is just a basic, very easy explanation of the Docker Compose. It's not very hard. Docker is not very hard. These all things are very easy to understand. And if you have any doubt regarding this Docker Compose, or any of the concept, just ping me in the comment. I will clearly explain all the things, and even if I need to create a video, I will create it. Okay, so here I have all the things, and what I will do, so just to run my application, as I told you, like it contains the backend DB as Postgres, so we need a DB also. And it's a very fresh setup. We don't have anything installed right now. Just for your sake, I will do docker image ls. Okay, I have this Postgres image, and docker ps hyphen a. Okay, so I have this Redis which is exited 2 months ago. Okay, so there's nothing running right now. So what I will do, I will just run the Postgres server into my Linux machine. I've already installed the Docker. So here is the command. Okay, let me just clean it. Okay, here is my command. This docker run hyphen d for detached mode. And what will be my container name will be PostgresDB. And when you are running your Postgres container, you have to provide one user and password. So that particular user is going with the environment variable, this hyphen e. It will provide you all the environment related options to provide when you are running the container. So this Postgres user is Postgres. This password is Postgres, and I have provided my name of DB is FastAPI Ecom. It is exposing the port 5432. And for the data recovery, I have provided the location where lib Postgres data. So let's say if my container gets killed and if I want to run the again this particular Postgres, and the data which is present, which earlier I saved inside of it, so it will take that data as a volume mount and it will again start to show me that okay, you had that data, and again I'm showing it to you. Okay. And this Postgres colon 15 is the image version of the Postgres. Okay, so it is all, and I will do the enter, and it, I guess, started it. So let me just check Docker PS. Okay, so it started the container Postgres and its status is up 6 seconds. It means it is running right now. Okay, so we have one running DB. With the in this running backend DB container have this fast API ecom database also. Okay, we will check it, but after doing some other process as well. Okay, so after doing it, what we need to do is okay, uh, we need to migrate the data tables. So we have this model, and inside the model we have multiple. Okay, so I have this models.py. Let me show you the models.py. So we have this user, this category, this product, this review. These are the tables which should be present inside my database. So what I will do, I will do the migration of my database. Okay. So here it is. So first of all, what I will do, as like earlier I have lots of migration. So I will remove all the migration as I'm just trying to start something new, and I will create all the things from the start. So here I have this, and what I will do, I will create the Alembic revision auto generate hyphen m create table. Okay, so here it is, Alembic revision auto generate hyphen m create table. Okay, let me create the revision. Alembic not found. Okay, but can be installed with the sudo apt. Okay, sorry, I didn't source my env till now. So what I will do, I will just go once back and I will do the source env bin activate. And after activating it, what I need to do is pip install hyphen r this fast API, this requirement.txt. I guess it should not take much time because earlier I already used it. So it will have all the dependencies in it, and I didn't install anything new. Everything is inside the requirement.txt. All you need to do is you just need to install it. That's it. Okay. So here it got installed. I will do the clear and I will run the Alembic again. I guess it should run now. Okay. No script location key found in the configuration. Okay. I guess I'm not running it from the exact location. So inside it, if you see, there is this alembic.ini. Wherever this alembic.ini is present, you need to run this alembic revision command from there. Okay. So this alembic revision, I guess it should run now. Okay, it failed because password authentication failed for user Postgres. Okay, so I need to update few things because I just created a new DB with a new user and new password. So we need to update few things. So what I will do, alembic.ini. Inside this, there should be some URL. Okay, so here it is. Sorry. Inside this Alembic URL. Okay, so I have this Postgres user. That's fine. But my password is Postgres too. Okay, so it is Postgres and at the rate localhost 5432 fast API ecom. Okay, so this is the same thing which I have provided there. Okay, I will update it. Now let me try it again. Okay, fast API ecom does not exist. So what we need to do is we need to go inside the DB. Okay, so let's collect the Docker PS. Okay, it is the container ID And after collecting it, what we will do, we will do the docker exec hyphen it, this docker container id, the hyphen u will be, mm, okay, PSQL. I need to run the PSQL hyphen u will be the Postgres. Okay. Okay. So I have entered my Postgres SQL container, and after it, let me check my database. What database is present? Okay. So I have this AppDB, I have this Postgres, but I don't have the FastAPI ecom. So, okay. Not to worry about it. We will create one. So it will be create database FastAPI ecom. Okay, let's check again. FastAPI ecom. 4 rows, list of database. Mm, create database. Okay. Syntax error. Okay. FastAPI create database. I guess it should be capital only. Create database. FastAPI ecom. Okay. Database created. Let's check. Okay. FastAPI ecom is now created. And let's come out of it. Only. Okay. Slash q. Okay, so let's run this Alembic revision again. I hope it should work now. Okay, so it created the revision. All I need to do is just to push it. And how I'm going to push it, that will be the Alembic upgrade head. That's it. It should create the revision. Okay, SQL model is not defined. Okay, that's fine. Okay, go inside the Alembic to the ls, go the version. Okay, it created the version, this abd vi, this a.py, and I guess, okay, so this import is missing, not to worry about it. And here import SQL model. That's it. SQL model. Okay, fine. SQL model. Okay, I guess we did all the things which we can. Let's run the head command, Alembic upgrade head. It should run now. Okay, it executed. Let's check the table inside our FastAPI ecom DB. So again, we will go inside the Postgres container, and what we will do, slash dt. Okay, did not find any relation. Mm, what is the command to select the database? Also, I need to check. Okay, select database in PSQL. PSQL. Yes, I forgot. So, okay. PSQL connect, show more, your username, database. Okay, fine. Hyphen C, your database. Okay. Slash C and my fast API underscore ecom. Okay. Connection to the server. This database does not exist. I guess earlier we created it. Slash L fast API ecom is present. Okay. I need to use the underscore. Okay, you are now connected. Now slash tt. So here we have this category, product, order, review, user. So we created all the tables, and these all tables are new right now. So what I will do, I will just come out of it. So these two things we did. First of all, we created the DB, this DB container, and we did the migration of all the tables. So these two parts are done. Now let's come back here, and this worker. This worker is the one which will provide us the functionality of background jobs. And this background jobs required the Redis server. This Redis server will work as the message queue. So we need to run one container for the Redis also. So for that, what I will do, I will just come here and will do the clear. Okay. So it will be the Docker run hyphen D. It is the name of this Redis server, Redis queue. It is a 6379 default port, which it is exposing, and we are using the network as bridge because we want this Redis to be connected to the Celery Worker, and they both will be the different container, and the both containers need to be connected through some network, and that network is the bridge. Okay, and I'm using the Redis 7 Alpine image. Okay, so what I will do, I will just run it. I already had this Redis image, so it didn't pull and it just directly executed. So let me do the Docker PS again. So here I have this Redis 7 container which is running up 9 second. Okay, it is working fine. So I have these two things right now. Now it's the third thing is Celery. After when we have the Celery, then we will go for our web application because these are all the prerequisite things. Okay. Now what I will do, I will just come here and okay. Before running the Celery, what we did in the earlier part, we created the Docker file, if you remember. And inside the Docker file, what we have is we are using the Python 3.10 Slim, the minimal version of Python, which can be used. And we are creating this user source app directory. We are placing the complete requirement.txt, and then we are installing all the requirements, and then we are copying the complete project. Why I'm doing this? Because this project contains the method, the logic, the APIs, which will be used by this worker to resolve the heavy task. And these heavy task is present inside my repository. And this repository need all the libraries which is present inside the requirement.txt. So in place of creating everything separate for the Celery, what I did is like I'm using the image of a complete project for the Celery to take data from and to run it. And it will just run only the Celery worker thread from this part. This hyphen A is you are seeing here is for the application. This this worker is the worker file, worker.py, where I provided the Celery app, and it is for the worker. Okay, so that's it. And what I will do, I'm just going to run the Docker file and create the image. And also after creating the image, it should run uh, we are going to run the container out of that image. But before creating that image, we need to do some modification because earlier we were using the Docker desktop, but currently we are working on the Linux platform. We don't need that Docker dot something host as a URL there. So if I come here, we have this worker.py. I will go into the worker.py, and inside the worker.py, I have created this host.docker.internal. It is for the Docker desktop, but currently it is not required. So what I will do, I will update it. So it will be like localhost because it is running on the local for the WSL platform, for the Linux platform. And also from here, I will use the localhost. Mm, okay, fine. Localhost. Not localhost. Guess should be one for the backend. Okay, let's try with the localhost first. So first of all, we need to create the Docker image for it, and that Docker image will be this. So what it will do, it will create the image. It will do all the collection of all the requirements from the requirement.py, sorry, requirement.txt. It will collect all the images. Okay, these are all the libraries which it collected. Okay, let's wait for a minute. Okay, it is resolved. Let's see the images. Docker image ls. So here I have this fast API worker. All I need to do is to execute it. So what I will do, I will just simply clear it first and then Docker run -d again in a detach mode. It is the fast API worker, the name of the container, and I'm providing the Redis URL. Even if you want to use this as a env, that's fine. If you not, then you can provide the Redis URL where your with the port where your Redis container is running. Okay, so the network again, I'm using the bridge, and okay, I will remove the this line because I've already updated. I guess localhost should work. So here we have all the things, and let's run it. Okay, so here I have, let's check Docker PS. So I have this fast API worker, I have this Redis 7 Alpine, and I have this Postgres 2. Just we will validate first whether it is working or not. So Docker logs, it is the container ID. Why it is not getting clicked? Okay, here it is. Docker logs, okay, consumer cannot connect to localhost 6379. Okay, fine. I got it. So what I will do, Docker stop this, Docker remove this container. Okay, Docker remove. And also we need to update the Docker image as well. So for that, what I will do, I will go inside the worker.py, and inside the worker.py, in place of localhost, I will provide the Redis. Okay, Redis, and here Redis 2. Okay, so this Redis is the service name, fine, which is created by the Docker for all the other application to access it. I was just confused earlier, so I tried it and it didn't work. So I guess it should work now. So let's create the image again because we updated the code, and this code is the part where the Celery worker is using. So I've updated it. Let's build this image again. Okay, it got created, and let's run the fast API worker. Okay, so here I have this. Let's check for the container name. Okay, this is the container, and Docker logs cannot connect to Redis. Okay. I guess I need to provide the env as well. Okay. Again, we need to go through the same process. So, because we need to refresh the image. So, what we will do, Docker stop, Docker rm, and okay. So, without changing anything else, let's come here and do the -env, uh, Redis URL, Redis :/ Redis Q. Okay, let me just check it again. Am I providing the right name or not? Okay, so if you can see here, let me just name. If you just see the name, it is the Redis queue. And what I provided the Redis. So either I can go inside the code and update the Redis in place of Redis queue. Let's do that. Not not from here. Okay. What we will do, we will just update the image. So here I will go vi worker.py. I need to check this Redis queue. Okay. I will copy it and I will update it here. We should make some mistakes. So if we can understand what actually happening at the backend. Okay. So it is the Redis queue right now. It should work now. Okay. So here I have the thing. Let's update the image. Okay. Let's run the container again without any env. It created. Do the Docker PS. Okay, here I have the container ID. Right now, just use the name to get the logs. Docker logs fast API worker and cannot connect. Redis colon. Why it is like this? 6379. 6379 is fine. Mm, Redis is fine too. Fast API worker, that is fine too. Network is bridge, that is fine too. Mm, Network is bridge. Okay. And for the fast API worker, fast API worker, what was the Redis? Where is the Redis? I guess Redis. I use the bridge network only. Okay, let me recheck it. Okay. Uh, Docker. Stop. Docker RM and Docker. Let's run this again with the env hyphen env, and we will use the Redis URL. Okay. Now let's check it again. Fast API worker. Okay, it's working fine right now. I guess I didn't provided the Redis URL, which is required for the service to get up for the Celery container, and it was missing this thing inside my uh, py file. So I guess if I provide this thing there, then definitely it should work. Okay, so I have these three running container right now: Docker PS, this fast API worker, the Redis, and the Postgres. Now the only thing is remaining is we need to run the our server. Okay, to run this server, there is one more thing which we need to do, and that is we need to update our env file because we have this ls-a vi.env. Okay, so we need to update the secret key as well. Okay, let me just come out and we will run the. Okay, so it created one token for me just for now, and we will update it. I do not want anything to get failed when I'm running. Okay, and now there is a one new command which I'm using right now, which we didn't use till now. So I will explain it. Let me clear it again. This UVCon main app host 000 port 8000. So what it does it mean? So earlier what we were doing is we were executing the command UVCon main colon app hyphen reload. This host part is new as we are running this application into a WSL platform, this Linux platform, and I have this browser in my local host in my Windows machine, and I want my machine to get connected to this Linux server because it is a completely separate entity and they cannot communicate with each other. So I just provided hyphen host 0.0.0.0. So it means this particular process will allow all the network to get access. Like all the network can come and if I have this IP, they can use it. They can open this application there. So what I will do, I will just run it, and it started the process at 8000. I will come here, okay, and what I will do this 170 fast API docs. Okay, so this particular thing which is running and how I got it. Okay, let me just stop it, and it will be the hostname hyphen f or hostname hyphen I. Okay, so this is the IP of my this WSL, and this WSL IP I have used here 172.31.174, which is the same, and I just use the port which I exposed here, this port 8000, and it is running right now. Okay, so everything is running. Just let's run some DB operations as well from this here in this from this URL, so that we will be sure okay everything is fine. So where is my Postman? Postman is here. Okay, what we will do, I have this. APIs in which category. This category can be get like it will provide me all the categories which are present inside my machine, sorry, in my DB. As it's a e-commerce website, this e-commerce website will have like multiple products and those products will have the category. So what I need to do is I need to just run the hit command send and it should provide me, okay, what just happened? Get API v1 categories. Okay, the server is not running. Fine. Okay, so I have the server running right now. Fine. And then how it got opened? Okay, fine, fine. Somehow it got closed earlier because I wanted to show you. I guess I opened it earlier, then I stopped it. So right now I will come here and again hit the send on this API. It was providing me internal server error. Why? So password authentication failed for the user Postgres. Mm, okay. I need to update in my config as well. Okay, so here it is vi core config. Inside the config.py, the database URL is still using the root. So what I will do, I will provide the Postgres here. Same I will do here, Postgres. Okay, now it will do the work for me. See, it was so easy. If you have structured component inside your project, it will be very easy to update at one place and it will reflect at all the places. So again, if I go and hit the send, okay, so right now the response is 200 and I have nothing here. So what I will do, I will go and create the category inside the body. I do not have anything. Let's create raw inside the raw, use the JSON. I will go back to here inside the post. All I need to provide is the name. Okay, so I will just copy it. I will come back to the Postman. It is the name. And what I will do, I will just provide one category as game. Okay, hit the send. Okay, it created one. It is the first record as we created a very new database. So it just created the record. And let's go back to our get request. And oh wow, it's working. So the setup is working. My application is working. And right now, if I see uh, what are the components which we needed. So if I go here, all the services required for the Docker Compose or for the deployment. First of all, we need the DB. Then as a component wise, we need the DB. We need the Redis queue, which is the container. We need the Celery Worker. Again, that is a container. We need the main app. This main app is not a container right now. It is running from the command line. Okay, we need to make it in a container as well. And then we need to do the migrate. Okay, so these are the 5 parts which we need to work on for the Docker Compose. Okay, so till now we were able to collect all the requirements for the Docker. We listed out all the components and we also deployed our application manually. So we understood that what components are required for the Docker Compose file. So this is it for this part, but in the next part, we are going to create the Docker Compose file with all the observation which we had in this part. So thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next part. Thank you.